Hello, welcome back to Underrated Movies. I'm your guy, I'm your man, Mr. Alton Henry, and today I'm going to talk to you of another film, Brightburn, starring Elizabeth Banks and whoever the rest of the cast is. I'm sorry. I know, laziness. It's a story about the origins of Superman, or not intentionally exactly Clark Kent, but Uh, it's a what if story if Superman was evil. Came out back in what is it, to year 2019, and I remember seeing the trailers. I think it was also a story written by James Gunn, and I think his brothers might have written it as well. It's available for free on Tubi, but before we get started, like, subscribe, comment below on my channel. Let me know what is your favorite underrated movie. Put a like in, and click the notification bell for any new videos that I recommend that you have to check out because they are seriously underrated. Despite its flaws, despite whatever the issue that film might be, if you want original content, if you want original movies, I'm here to tell you this is what you need to check out. This film, okay, David Denman and Jackson A. Dunn. Okay, Dunn, like David Dunn. Huh. It's a story, basically, just what if, again, it's a kid crash landing on Earth, similar to like Superman. What if that kid was evil? And to be honest, okay, I have to be honest. This is what I would have wanted for the storytelling for Zack Snyder's Man of Steel to be. Then, yeah, this is kind of what I wanted from Zack Snyder's Man of Steel. But Man of Steel is just a lot better directed. And this film is just like, it's a nice concept, it's a cool concept, but it's one of those films where the idea is so original and kind of cool, but the direction is kind of flatless. There's a few moments in here where I thought the scenes were amazing, but then there was also some, I guess, I would say, not so flattering moments to where it feels like they could have been a little bit more creative with the story and the direction. But first of all, I would like to give props to Jackson A. Dunn, the actor who plays the kid who has superpowers, who goes around, finds out or discovers he has the ability of Superman. And he starts to kind of question his worth to his family, to his surroundings, and then he kind of just gets this little impression, like, you know what, I could f y'all people up. So he does, and he does it kind of just because. But there's a moment in the film where he gets called back to this rock or meteor that he lands in, and it kind of like gives him some sort of cryptic message, supposedly to destroy Earth or something, and which he does. But I would have to say I wish the film dealt with his psyche a little bit more, actually, or more of it. Like the film barely touches on his psyche or just psychologically what that rock or what that rock from his planet is doing to him, and what's, where it came from. I mean, I don't expect answers right away from this movie, or just hardly at all. I feel like the movie again just wasn't created enough to really test or expand the story. Now, Elizabeth Banks was cool. This is one of the best performances I've seen from her in this film, where she plays a mother who desperately wants a child, and then when she has it, she doesn't really try to accept the fact that her son could be a superhero serial killer. But the way she denies it, you could tell the distress of that she puts on her performance of that, not wanting to accept the possibility that her son could be evil. The father, David Denman, who's actually pretty great by the way. I've seen his work also in Mayor of Easttown. That's a awesome show. You got to check out on HBO Max. I love the fear he displays on his face when his son when he discovers his son's abilities, and he's able to witness and see certain things where you could actually see the fear he has of his own son, and he delivers it very well. Another good performance from him. There are there are a few sequences I really loved in here. I really love the scene where he taunts the mother of one of her schoolmates in this little diner, and there's a scene in the trailer it was the selling point of the movie. That's probably my favorite scene in the film. And then the ending was also probably one of my favorite parts of the film, and I just love that they kind of went all the way with his superhero abilities. They didn't try to follow a cliche route. And the movie's pretty bleak. So if you're fighting a superhero villain, logically, are you gonna have a chance trying to take down a supervillain? A human taking down a supervillain with super strength and ability to fly and eye visions, and probably not. Probably not. The child actor again, he was great in here. He delivers this emotionless stare when you look at him, and when you look at him, you're like, "Fuck, dude, I want to just disappear." Like, don't you look at me like that? Don't you look at me like that? Want a piece of candy? I'll be your best friend. You want to go there when you see that kid when he looks at you like that. You kind of want to go there because the way he stares at you was phenomenal. And I know there's this another scene where I like where he taunts his aunt and his aunt's wife, and his not aunt's wife, his aunt husband. I That sequence was cool where he spoiler where he grabs him in the car and drops the car and he breaks his jaw, and you see it was like wow. It was like wow. But again, the filmmaker, I wish he was I wish he was more creative with this story. I wish he done things more experimental. I feel like a director who has a sense of style could have pulled out a better. I mean, shoot, James Gunn probably could have. I mean, he written the film. I think he brought up the concept of the story. Um, I'm not ashamed of the filmmaker. I'm sure he's a great director, but I just thought the film was lacking creativity and didn't fully um what's the best word I'm trying to say? I guess fully take control of the story, like creatively. You could have been more bonkers out there with it. But I thought this was a decent horror film. I thought it was a very clever and unique way of telling a super villain story in the Superman way. I thought this was very unique. Anybody looking for a good film? It's decent, but a good, unique, original take on of the genre piece, comic booky. Check out Brightburn, currently available on Tubi. Have you seen it? Comment below. Let me know what is your favorite underrated movie.